we do export $50 billion worth of software, but dog doesn't eat dog food. It's very difficult for anybody to go sell any software, right, within India to any CIO. We all know that. Whereas if you look at on the other side, whether it's healthcare or education or, clean tech, I think we've already invested in a lot of companies that are not, just technology driven. I mean, so there's a layer of technology from scalability and achieving efficiencies and all that, but, consumer facing and, kind of large market opportunity. So I think that, if I were to kind of look at, the opportunity areas, right? So there's the local piece itself, local opportunity. And then there's the local to global kind of a model, because now I think we have enough maturity, understanding of global customers from product management, product marketing point of view to be able to spin out these. And then kind of some successful global models, you localize them. I'm the eBay of India, or I'm the Amazon of India, or whatever, right? So I think definitely sectors like healthcare, energy, education, rural markets are huge opportunities.
Okay. We as a company are very averse to going outside the technology domain. And by technology, we don't see product per se. It can be in any part of the business. And since we are mostly funding startups, it so happens that we see only the starting part of the company. That is a product or service per se. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I echo that. I think technology is an enabler. So, the way we think about technology is that technology has an extraordinary return on equity when you get it right. So for venture capital, it can be very highly capital efficient to then help build a big business.
Okay.
And then, any big market will see big companies. So real estate is a great sector, but it's very capital intensive. It'll see massive companies like DLFAs and others are, but it's going to be capital intensive and not for venture investors. So I think that's what technology helps to do in all the traditional sectors.
Okay.
If applied right, it can create leverage and scale. And a very high return on capital.
Okay, but what?
One other observation, and I don't know how true is that a lot of the VCs actually came from this whole online background. So let's now talk about what can they do beyond online. One challenge is we don't even know whether that other model will succeed. If we are building anything offline, takes more longer time. Right? We don't have specialists in healthcare devices, right? Medical devices. So can we do investment? We don't have a specialist in clean tech. Can we do investment? People are doing, but I think it's more out of saying that my online market is not big enough, so let me also try out some other things. But only time will tell that though the market size looks big, can you really build a VC funded company in those sectors?
VC investing from India is still an experiment, be it tech investing or non-tech investing. Okay. We don't yet have data points to show that sustainable returns are possible in either place.
Part of what you're going to invest behind is about teams, right? On a broad technology base, I'm not convinced that technology attracts the best teams compared to some of the non-tech sectors, right? Internet, we've seen the quality of teams, much left to be desired. Software products, we've seen it. Sure, the technology guys are great, but the product marketing, is a serious hole.
Okay.
So if I see a better company in, hair salons, why not?
So the two companies that I liked were Vigyapan and GoVasu.
Okay.
The reasons I liked them both are so I think both of them are taking Vigyapan is taking a good approach, and it's actually going after a certain market. Analytics has been the if you call it the hot term that has been used for the past 3-4 years in trying to mine user data and try to figure out how you want to go. How do you want to actually get a user to interact and be attach themselves? Marketers have been behind, throwing out different types of messages. The problem is how do you actually get a user to engage and go back and give. And I think that's what Vigyapan is trying to do in an intelligent way.
Okay.
And obviously going after the operators is the best way, because in most other markets you don't have user data. Right?
Yeah.
With a single phone number I can actually type down to a person, and at least over a 9-12 month period I can figure out what that person is doing in the case of prepaid. So, and I did have an offline chat with them, and it seems that they have thought this through carefully, and that the science behind it is reasonably good, that it's not going to just break down.
Okay.
Don't know yet, right? Need much longer discussion.
Okay.
GoVasu is a concept that is not new. It's been tried in the US, it's been tried in China. And by concept I like it, but I think there's a lot more things that we may have to do before it will succeed in the Indian market. So I will be touching base with them and talking to them later.
We won't talk about the ones
You know, I could go. So I love Hiker.
Okay.
I think the innovation works out right. The applications are humongous. I mean, it could be a big winner. And I love Verdanchi.
But it's
Yeah.
not scalable.
No, why not? I mean, I think if you could, what they're doing is leveraging existing engines, and there's a large number of people out there in Metro, who want to, custom design their own stuff.
Do you
And
like bikes too?
Pardon me?
Do you personally like?
I'm not a big bike fan, but I
Okay.
really love their designs. I think they're pretty cool, and I think it's quite appealing. And what happens is they will achieve some standardization. I think today they may talk about customization, but over a period of time within the menu, certain models will become popular, and people will start saying, if you give me economies of scale, I'll go for that.
Okay.
So I thought it was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
Mine two companies would be, one is Bricks will be there,
Okay.
and the other will be the Hiker Technologies. So Bricks,
Sure.
the reason being that they have a complete package with them.
Okay.
And the good part about them is that they have least customizable final endpoint. Like most of their products would be going to and deployed right at the college or university or XYZ level. And they need to do the customization at the final last mile. So that is a good part of that. And the second is Hacker Technology, like you told, whatever you said is absolutely right. They have very good market to cater to, and they have a good technology.
I would go for Vigyapan. I think I think Rajesh mentioned most of the point. I think that technology has multiple applications.
Okay.
I could think of a couple of our companies where the technology can be used, and analytics is one area. That was one. The other one I like was Bank Bazaar. The fact that they are able to integrate with bank systems and get real quotes. It's not leads.
Okay.
And I have met them before this, so I know a bit more about the fact that they get 30x time what a lead gen site get for a customer,
Okay. Okay.
which makes it very attractive to everyone.
Any others that you don't necessarily have to like just two companies?
But
Yeah.
that would have been Bank Bazaar. I listed it in the note.
Yeah, I like Touch Magics because I think marketing is a very large industry, and marketers are always looking for a new way to engage, and it's very hard. They keep beating each other up on trying to find the next creative campaign. And so I've actually, as I've traveled all over the world, I've actually seen kids jump up and down airports on this stuff. So I can see how marketers would love it. Now whether is it scalable, what is the back end process to actually do all this stuff,
Sure.
don't know
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
But if I were a marketer, I would totally embrace it.
Okay.
Question Vigyapan, I like what they're doing. I like the space. I think the issue is many people now realize that call graph analysis on telecom makes sense.
True.
I did not see the same realization amongst the team that there is more of this happening around. Okay, so they list automobile as a competitor, that puzzles me, right? We've seen companies, startups and big companies who have seemingly stronger initiatives in this area, and I would expect the team to know about that.
Both context as well as personalization.
I like GoSoon. I totally agree with all the challenges that were pointed out there. The one that I would add is to actually introduce some efficiency in the supply chain.
True.
Right, they're just picking up stuff off the retail shelf. I think they'll have an opportunity to go deep and create some value before they start passing on that value. But if I look at e-commerce concepts that should fly in India, and I know nothing is flying today on the product side, right? This would be one of my picks as a concept. I also find the team fairly live to the issues that they face. So I like that honesty in the dialogue. Verdanchi I liked, and I'll tell you why I liked it. First I saw the bikes, I liked it. So I biked it. Okay. And then I saw the second bike go down the stage, and it did not have the bullet engine. Okay. I went back to the guy, I said, you can't run this bike on a bullet engine. He said, yeah, that was a twin V. So he knows what he's doing. There are enough mod bike shops. Okay. When I look for my last one, I look for a mod bike, and you fit a bullet engine inside a big bike, it doesn't work. Right, so I think he has the right mindset of saying, I'm going to create a product that flies in the market. I'm not just peddling stuff. And I think I agree with Satish's response. This has a potential to evolve from being just a custom bike business to a bike manufacturing business. There's a Harley brand in the US which does pretty well for a certain segment of audience. No reason in a 4 lakh rupee range that should not work in India. Because partly Harley is going to position itself at 10 and 15, right? That's where they are today. So I like that. I don't know how scalable it is, but very interesting.